There's that saying that good things come in small packages. Think engagement rings, Mazda Miatas, and perhaps the simple gesture of holding a door for a stranger. Well, that axiom is true in the culinary world too. And one of the best examples that I can think of are lentils. These little legumes are humble and unassuming, but they are packed with outsized goodness. Today we'll be exploring and cooking with lentils, and by the end of this video, I think you're going to be eager to give them the love that they deserve. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt, and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook. And today we are cooking lentils. Now, a brief background on lentils. Lentils are part of the legume family, and in particular, they are pulses. And if you recall from my whole video on beans, pulses are the dried seeds of legumes. Now, as I said in that intro, we are going to be making an absolutely delicious dish with lentils today. But before we get cooking, here's 5 more things to know about these because they really are amazing. And the first thing is, like other legumes, lentils are really nutritious. They are packed with proteins, iron, phosphorus, fiber, and they are really low in fat and they have no cholesterol. Furthermore, these are great if you are on like a vegan diet or a gluten-free diet because lentils, like other beans, are both. These things really are a nutritional powerhouse. In fact, last year they were part of my half marathon meal, what I ate before running a half marathon. And well, this year I actually ran one again just last week, and they pretty much made up my entire meal the day before the half marathon. And well, that race went absolutely great, even better than last year. The second thing to know about lentils is they are super versatile. They can be used hot, cold, they can be served whole, they can be served mashed. They are like a culinary canvas. They can be used in soups, salads, served alone. They are really incredible, and they can even be sprouted if that's your thing. The third thing to know about lentils is they are cheap. As far as like a value for nutrition type of food, well, lentils are amazing. And just like other beans, it usually goes that the bigger quantity you buy, like the bigger bag, the cheaper it will be on an overall cost basis. So just incredible. I mean, you can really feed a family well for just a little bit of money when you're buying lentils or incorporating them into your recipes and meals. The fourth thing to know is that, like other beans, lentils store really well in dry storage. Just seal them up in a container and they'll be good for about a year. And that means that they are a great source of nutrition and food that you can always have on hand in your pantry. And lastly, perhaps the best thing about lentils is that they cook quickly, quicker than other types of beans. So that whole episode on beans that I did, and again, I love beans, I eat a lot of them, but usually they require planning. You gotta soak them, you've gotta cook them for a couple hours. Well, with lentils, they don't require soaking, and that means that they can be from your cupboard to your table in about half an hour. Now, lentils come in various shapes and sizes. The most popular ones here in America, and the ones that you're going to find in just about any supermarket, are these ones. These are known as brown or sometimes green lentils, and they're kind of, I don't know, a combination of those two colors. But these are the popular ones. These are what you're going to find in most grocery stores. Now, better stocked grocery markets or at ethnic markets, especially Middle Eastern ones, you might find ones like these orange lentils that are actually smaller and cook a lot faster than these guys. And these orange lentils, these are particularly popular in dal, that wonderful, flavorful dish that is super spiced and super wonderful. Maybe I'll make a separate episode on that. Let me know if you'd like that. But today we're going to be using the green ones, the greenish brown ones, to make a wonderful, wonderful dish. The dish we're going to make are simmered lentils, but we're going to spruce them up. We're going to add some carrots, onions, and garlic. And then when the dish is finished, we are really going to just make it pop with homemade air fryer croutons, along with some other garnishes, including one of my favorite things of late, a secret ingredient that is absolutely wonderful. So let's make these up. We'll start by measuring out 1 cup of lentils. And before we put them in the pot, we are going to rinse them and pick through them. Make sure there's no debris or any stones or anything like that. I've got 1 cup of lentils in a 3-quart pot here. You'll want to have a pot with a lid. This pot, by the way, is one that I found at the thrift store. It's an emerald ware, but a little secret, All-Clad actually made emerald ware. So if you ever see an emerald ware pot like this at the thrift store and you're a fan of All-Clad, well, guess what? That's a great way of getting a deal on one. Okay, to cook lentils, you'll want a 3-to-1 ratio of liquid to lentils. So since we have 1 cup of lentils, we're going to use 3 cups of water. We're just going to pour it right into our pot. And at its most basic, this is all we would need to make lentils. But like I said, we're going to spruce ours up. So to this pot, I'm also going to add a couple of carrots that I had cut up. I'm also going to add about half of an onion. This is just a brown onion, as well as a couple cloves of garlic that I cut up really small. Now, as with other bean dishes, you don't want to add salt at the beginning because it can make the lentils kind of tough. So we'll do that at the end. But I am going to add a few black peppercorns just like that. So all we have to do now is turn on the heat and let this come up to a boil. Okay, we've reached the boil, and it's always good to put a lid on a pot like this when you're bringing it to a boil, because that's going to make it come to the boil faster. So all we have to do now is turn our heat down to low. We're going to give this a stir. Then we're just going to put the lid back on and kind of monitor it until all of that liquid is absorbed. It should only take about a half an hour or so, and it's perfectly fine to remove the lid every now and then to kind of give it a stir and check on the liquid situation. So that's all you need to do. I'm going to prep some other ingredients while this cooks, and I'll meet you back here when this is done. We'll put it all together. And just like that, our lentils are done. I've been keeping an eye on the liquid level here, and I'm gonna kill the heat. Now, I do like to leave a little bit of liquid in the pot. That just gives it a nice savoriness, and that's especially helpful if you're using something like chicken stock or beef stock with this. So we are just going to give these a stir. These look perfect. Now remember, we didn't salt these before cooking, so we're gonna do that now. We're gonna pour a little bit of salt in here. We'll stir this up and make sure you want to give it a taste. Make sure everything is to your liking. You can always add a little bit more salt or pepper. These are just perfect. So here's what these guys look like. And again, you could serve these as is. This would be delicious, but I'm going to show you how to bring these lentils to the next level. Okay, I'll put them in my serving dish here, and by the way, I found this at the thrift store the other day, this lovely little Corningware casserole dish. I'd never seen one like it before. It's fantastic. So what we'll do is just scoop our lentils into this. This is gonna make a great little serving platter, just like this. And again, these would be delicious as is, but we are really gonna spruce them up. So first thing we're going to do is add a little bit of tomatoes. These are just some little cherry grape tomatoes that I cut up. Then we are going to add homemade air fryer croutons. I did a whole video on this, and these are so easy to make. And if you're gluten-free like me, it's an easy way to get gluten-free croutons. So these are going to give this lentil dish some nice crunch, some nice contrast. Now a little bit of parsley This is just some fresh Italian leaf parsley. And then my secret ingredient, I've been obsessed with this stuff lately. This is that crunchy garlic chili sauce. You can find this in like the Asian section of your stores. It's really, really good. You don't have to add this if you don't want, but I just love the bite and the extra spice and garlicness that this gives to this dish. So we'll just ladle some of that on, put a little more parsley on there, and we have lentils like you have never had them before. I mean, come on, look at this. I told you that lentils are a culinary canvas, and here we have those nice earthy lentils with that fresh parsley, these fresh, vibrant tomatoes, and of course, the crunch of the croutons and the spiciness of the chili sauce. This is simply amazing and just one way to really bring lentils to the next level. I hope you give this a try. Okay, trivia time. Last week I asked you to identify a very special device, and we were at a very special location. We were filming at my mom and dad's house. If you haven't checked out that video, please check it out. It was so special. But several of you got that right. That was indeed a bottle and can opener, and a vintage one. I think that thing is like 100 years old or something. It is really old and it still works to this day. For this week's kitchen tool trivia, who knows what this is? If you know what this is or you have a guess, put it in the comments below and I will of course let you know what this thing is in the next video. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Until next time, I hope you want to cook.